Pixel.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Grunting Podcast. There's only three of us here today. Me and Gerard.
Hello.
And Steph.
Hi.
Alex is, and I kid you freaking not, at a casino right now.
What?
When we started this call, you saw it. When he started this call, he joined in on his phone, and he's just
Is
all
that
these
what
slot
those noises
machines
are for? Oh my
You
god.
didn't watch? You didn't see
No,
it?
I didn't see. I glanced at. I saw it was Alex, but I was in the middle of like a mission in Mass Effect, so I was just listening.
Fucking nerds.
Yeah.
But no, yeah. So Alex is at a casino, so he can't hang with us. He was gonna sit here and do it from there, but it's so noisy, so we said get out.
Yeah. Well, in his defense, he's with his family. He's visiting his family, so
Priorities, Jared. Priorities.
it's not his fault. His family lives in a casino.
It's not his fault that that's where they spend all their time because they are horribly addicted to gambling.
It's actually really sad.
It's actually quite awful.
Yeah.
They've been to rehab 3 times and it's failed 4 of those times.
Because all the rehab sessions are in the casino.
Yeah. And
No,
they always
because
make
they're-
bets with the therapist.
No, the problem is they go to rehab, but they're just slot machining on their phone the
Yeah.
entire time. They're like, Alex, how does it feel to be addicted to gambling? Huh? Yes,
I bet
jackpot.
you $1,000 I do better in therapy today. Guys, I feel like we're not getting to the root of the problem.
That's what they're doing. They're making bets on who's the better at being therapized.
Therapized.
And it's like totally reversed because the person who's supposed to be doing the best is probably the most addicted to gambling, which means it's actually the worst.
And eventually they get to the odds that are so high that the therapist gets in on it. He's like, fuck it, 500,000 on blue.
Anyway, we will be trying something new this podcast because that seems to be the running theme with this every time we do something new. But before we do that, I was curious. Jared has been playing Quantum Break.
Oh, yeah.
And much like you had us kind of talk about the thoughts of the Division when we played it, because you hadn't played it, I've yet to play Quantum Break. I love Remedy. Remedy games are great. So I'm curious how this one stacks up.
Well, first of all, well, I have, some pros and cons. The biggest of the cons are the issues with Xbox alone. So I probably won't. I'll address this real quick, but those aren't going to affect the score, and that's with the broadcasting and stuff. And the other
Can I
thing
ask
is
one question real quick?
Yeah.
How many hours have you played of it, do you think? 2, 10?
3 or 4, maybe 5.
Okay.
I don't know.
Okay,
I
so
honestly have no
probably
idea.
pretty early.
Because I played some of it with my wife and then some of it on my own. So, but the other thing is I'm kind of pissed because I pre-ordered the game and they said you get a free Windows copy of it and a free copy of like Alan Wake or whatever. But they're not sending them out until like another 7 to 10 days. So I got to sit here and wait. But I don't know. I'm kind of pissed about that. But those are things.
From
that
what
won't
I
affect
hear,
the score
you're
of the
probably
game.
better off not playing it on Windows.
Well,
from what I'm hearing,
I can't get my frickin' Kinect camera to zoom in on my face. It just zooms in on a random picture on my wall, and
it's just a picture of your wife. It's not even you.
I can zoom out, but then it's like my entire living room, and it's me sitting in a chair, and it looks stupid.
You're just like this in the corner.
Yeah, I'm like
game's
this little
really
dot
good.
in the corner. So
You're just like yelling to your mic. I love this game.
Hey, I'm over here. But I don't know. So that was kind of pissing me off. So I had to stream my Windows 10, my Xbox from my Windows 10 or whatever, and it was like they can see everything on that I see, and it was anyways. But those won't affect the score of the game. So getting those aside, the pros are. It is the most, like, besides Until Dawn, it is like one of the more story heavy games. There is so much dialogue in this game. It is ridiculous. Like,
It's like a Final Fantasy title or Metal
I was
Gear
like
Solid.
struggling in a broadcast because I'd be like, oh yeah, so this, and then they would start talking, and I'm like, okay, I gotta wait for them to stop talking. Well, and then they would start talking again. Like, they are constantly talking in this game.
That's funny
While
because
you're playing. Let's go ahead.
I was gonna say, like, Quantum Break, wasn't that supposed to be tied to like a TV series that's supposed to air adjacent to it?
Well, it's not a
actually-
TV series that airs adjacent to it. It's in the show.
It's in the
You
game.
play through the game,
okay.
and then
It
you
is a
hit
video
a point in the
game
game,
slash
and then you
TV
watch
show.
a 30 minute
Okay.
cutscene, basically.
Yeah.
Okay, that explains it. It's weird that it's set up that way. I was expecting it to be like kind of like supplementary material, kind of like what a lot of Halo live action stuff is, where it's like it's not part of the game, but it's
No,
That's actually what
it's
drew
like
me to it,
directly
because
part of it.
that like those are the best games to play with my wife, because it's kind of we both can watch it as
They're
a
the
show.
best
or whatever.
games to play with my life because they're
Are the ones that I'm not actually playing a game.
Because they're the least like games. God,
Yeah.
I said leaf and life. You're the life.
And it's funny because my wife actually made a comment towards that, but I'll get to that. So so the game, like, just you start out the game and he's like telling a story, and so he's kind of narrating while you're playing. So there's a lot of talking, but there's a lot of like high end actors on it. I think Littlefinger from Game of Thrones, I think his name's Littlefinger, is in it. The Jack from Lost, or Mary from Lord of the Rings, whoever you want to associate him with, and then the ice guy from X-Men, whatever. I don't know their actual names; I just know their character names. They're all in it, and then that one guy that was in Fringe. Yeah, so that's crystal clear who all those actors are.
It's actually funny because for a while I associated him exactly like that. He's the black guy from Fringe.
Yeah.
But after playing Destiny, now he's just the Titan leader. Like,
that's
who I
another good
think of him.
example. Yeah.
Yeah, he's what? Not Shax, is it?
no, it's.
Steph's the lore whore, so she.
I
she'll probably know.
haven't touched
Oh, he called
Destiny,
you a
and
whore.
so. Oh.
I did.
Give me a
No,
second.
I mean, it was
Let me
literally to
log
the point
on
where, like, we were
Bungie.net.
playing- We were playing the I almost called it Division. We were playing Destiny together, and then it got to the point where like 2 days into like Destiny, I'm playing Destiny, doing like level grinding and stuff, and I'm like talking to Steph. I'm like, "What are you doing in Destiny?" And she's just like, reading the grimoire, and she literally read the grimoire for like 4 days
So
straight.
much
did.
like my freaking
And I
wife.
also looked at like these theory videos where like somebody went through the grimoire and kind of like put together like, this is everything we know about the Fallen. This is everything. So
Yeah.
it was a sad time. I got over it.
That
but-
is just like the definition of the success of the story in Destiny, where a third party had to come in and make videos
Yeah.
to explain what was supposed to be in the
explained
freaking game.
so much more, like so much better than the actual.
Good
grimoire
job,
cards.
Bungie! You fucked it up.
Or yeah, it's just all right.
Well, like, I had to put a disclaimer to my wife before we started playing. I'm like, I am not reading all of the miscellaneous material throughout the game. It's too fucking long. Like, there's, like, every single, like, little... You can pick up miscellaneous, like, emails and items in the game, and everyone's, like, a novel. And I'm like, I'm not reading all this. I'll come back and read it on my own time, but I'm not gonna sit here, because we would be spending all the time just reading stuff. And she likes to do all that, and I'm like, I'm not gonna do that. So anyways, so there's a lot of, like, reading material and stuff for those people who like that. My wife loves that stuff. But where was I? I don't know. But anyway, and the other thing is, I just want to give a nod to their facial graphics, I guess. I don't know what the technical term is. Like, looking at their faces is like mind blowing. The amount of detail. It's I'm sure there's other games that do it better, but that's the first game I've played in a long time where they've been that good. And when my wife first saw it, she looked at me and she was like, "Is they starting with the movie?" And I'm like, "No, that's how good the faces are in this." And but yeah, it was pretty cool. So
Cool. Just to let you know, and I don't know if this is I don't know if this is an ironic twist, but the Destiny is currently temporarily offline. I cannot sign in, so I cannot view my grimoire. So I'm viewing the Destiny wiki, and it's telling me that Commander Zavala is the Guardian.
Yeah. That's
What
right.
do you call this?
Zavala.
Like, it's the vendor for Titans.
how am I reviewing Quantum Break and we get into Destiny?
You know, because
And it's gonna get even worse.
Oh,
'cause this is a
Vanguard, that's
little
what they're
tangent.
called.
But I don't know. I kind of don't like voice actors, or specifically voice actors who get noticeable for their main voice, because that's all they do for everything. It's like the same voice every time. That stuff always just bothers me, because like when I was listening to Zavala in Thing, all I can think of is the Fringe. I can think of the Fringe guy. He doesn't look anything like his character, but it's the same voice. There's no nuance to it at all. So I'm just like,
But you wouldn't have that same complaint if it was Morgan Freeman, would you?
But it would still pull me out if Morgan Freeman's voice was coming from somebody that didn't look like Morgan Freeman. That would still throw me off. Yeah. Now, if they put Morgan Freeman's face on there, I'm like, motherfucking Morgan Freeman's in space. That's cool. You know, that's fine. But if Morgan Freeman's voice came out of some like Hispanic-looking dude, I'd be like, what is this?
Yeah,
what's going on?
Like, man, I really like this guy.
He has such a soothing voice.
Yeah. It's so weird how he sounds like Morgan Freeman. But like, there's a lot of actors who have that same problem. Like Troy Baker is half problematic with it because Troy Baker does some great voices, like his voice for the Joker, his voice for Two-Face, his voice for whatever the bad guy was from Far Cry, his voice from The Last of Us as Joel. Those are all different voices, but for those amount of roles, he has twice as many where it's just Troy Baker voice. And then I'll hear it, I'm like, well, that's Troy Baker.
Yeah, like
not
Booker DeWitt.
Prince Abaduku, like he's supposed to be. Yeah. Like, it just throws, I don't know, it's a stupid little person.
Well, yeah, like people who do voice acting for a living, like my favorite voice actor is Stephen Blum. He does a lot of...
he does a lot of the same voice, too.
But, like, every time I hear his voice, I'm like, yes! Like, I don't really care if it's like,
I mean, as
long as if it was like a female, I'd be like, all right, that's a little bit of a stretch. But like,
especially considering his vocal range.
Even if he's just like a side character in a game, I hear his voice and like, yeah.
Like
so
it's cool to notice it. It's cool to notice it, but you can't deny that. Like if you're playing in a game where you're really drawn in and you're running down the hallway, you're shooting things, whatever. You're so drawn in, and then a little voice comes over the radar, and it's just like, I'm Morgan Freeman. You're just like, oh fuck. Well, now I'm pulled out of that game. Like,
well, yeah, they got to
John
do it right.
DiMaggio's a big one too, where it's not a huge problem, but it's one of those things where like if you hear John DiMaggio's voice, even if he's trying to do a different voice, you can. It's John DiMaggio. Like
sometimes. I'll tell you what,
really?
That Franklin voice still throws me off.
Oh, I forgot he did Franklin. Yeah. Okay, yeah.
That still throws me off. I hear it sometimes, but like, no more favors, asshole. Like it's just not even.
Yeah.
Doesn't sound anything like it. Now, other voices, yeah, especially like the dog from Adventure Time.
Like, Jake. Yeah, Jake the dog.
It's like he's trying to do a different voice, but like it still comes through as John DiMaggio. But anywho, back to Destiny Break, whatever it was.
Destiny before that. Quantum Break. Quantum Destiny.
Yeah. What was
We're
that?
Talking about things you like.
I keep wanting to say Quantum.
Of Solace.
No, that movie like from back in the day, or that show.
Quantum Flux.
Oh, well, it doesn't matter. I almost say it every single time I introduce myself on the broadcast, and now I can't remember what it is. Go figure. So yeah, Quantum Break. Works. So here's my pro con. So pros, obviously, I mean, some of the faces they did better than the others. I'll give them that. But I was pretty impressed with that. And
I don't want to interrupt again, but one of the things that's actually thrown me off with Quantum Break is when I think of Quantum Break, I think of like the first reveals trailers and stuff that they did, and they like swapped out the protagonist like halfway through development. So like I'll see footage of Quantum Break, and for like the first second, I'll be like, "What's with the new character?" Oh yeah, that's right, they swapped him out. And it's just funny to me because I always, when I think Quantum Break, I think of that like girl in the explosion that he touches and like brings her out and she's all confused and stuff like that. And I think of that guy's face when I think of it. But now it's like this young blonde-haired kid. And I'm just like,
I remember that from like E3 like 20 years ago.
Yeah, like 2001.
Yeah. Back when they had the Sega Genesis reveal. But that's actually, that transitions into one of my pros is the way the game flows, like how you're manipulating time and stuff is brilliantly done. Your powers are kind of cool, but on the other side is it can kind of become like a for lack of a better word, clusterfuck when you've got a lot of shit going on, because you're stopping time in an isolated location, you're putting up your shield, you're speed running. All of these things can happen in the middle of combat, and it just becomes kind of hectic. Their cover system sucks balls. It's, I mean, everybody's going to compare a cover system to Gears of War. And, I mean, this game is basically, if you hug up against a thing, then your character ducks down. But if you're not hugging right up against that, you're standing up and you're exposed. So it's annoying as shit in the combat when you're trying to get behind cover and your guy's just standing there getting blasted with bullets. So
is there anything more annoying than cover systems in most games? Like, I don't know what it is about a cover system, but it has to feel just right, and most games get it wrong. Like, even if it's just one aspect of it, they get it wrong. I don't want to tangent off of this again, but like The Division actually has a pretty decent cover system, especially when you can like be in cover, look at a car 15 feet away, and then press a button and your character will just automatically go there. That's really cool. But it has a problem in the cover system where, let's say you're on a piece of cover that's an L shape, and you get into cover and you move across the L to this side to peek over, and then let's say you want to go back to the other side. If you pull the direction to go back around the cover, you'll just get off cover. Like almost every fucking time. Or it doesn't even have to be an L shape. Sometimes you'll just be on there, you'll be facing over one side, and you'll pull the other way, and it'll just pop off the cover. And it's just like, I'm in cover, keep me in cover, I'm just trying to turn around, damn it.
Yeah, so I mean, I get how you can easily screw it up. Well, I don't know about easily, but how it screws up. But the thing is, all I want is a button. I just want a button that says, hey, I want to hide behind this. That would make my life a lot easier. Even if it's difficult, like if you have to like hold the button in the opposite direction for a second or two to get out of cover, I would rather deal with that annoyance than the annoyance of getting shot a million times and almost dying because I can't get into cover.
I don't know why. I can't remember this, but the newest Tomb Raider doesn't have a button into cover, right? But it has cover where you just duck and then you just go behind it and you go into it automatically, right?
But the thing is that we don't remember what it is, so that means that it's at least decent enough that it works.
Whatever it was, it got by. It didn't stick out to us one way or another.
This sticks out. I guess the reason why it sticks out is you do a lot of things from cover. You're stopping time and you're putting up. You're doing a lot of things from cover in this game. So you would think they would have a better system for it. But or at least I am. But maybe I'm just a pussy and I hide behind cover a lot. But so that was the other thing. And there is a glitch in the game that happens every once in a while that is quite severe, if you ask me. It didn't happen at all during my playthrough, but when I played through with my wife, it happened the entire beginning of the game. We had to turn off the game, close it, and reopen it to fix it. And that's where, like, any source that gives off light, even if it's like a reflection of light, was like this blinding white screen that would like literally blind you in real life, like it was like looking at the sun almost. I know it's, I mean, that's a bit extreme, but like, and then like the screen would flash, like, and it was like strobe light almost, and it was. The glitch was so bad that you couldn't even tell what was going on in the game, and it was very aggravating. But that only happened once, and then once we reset it, it stopped. So I guess it's not that huge of a deal, but it was kind of like there were times where my wife were like, especially there's a part
you're like vampires in the sunlight. Like,
yeah. Well, there's a part where they do multiple of these surfaces that are reflective around a core. And they're going down, and every single one's reflecting light. So it's like Are
there flashbangs in the game? Because that would be like double, like your monitors melts.
Yeah, we didn't get to the first combat before we stopped it. It was just we
every time someone shoots, you just get blinded for a second.
Yeah. But we also have like this super bright plasma TV, so I'm sure that didn't help. But
plasma.
Yeah, old school. But so that was another complaint. So that was like graphics. So focusing on graphics, I would say overall, probably about 8.5 out of 10. And I haven't seen it on Windows, so I can't. This is all Xbox One, which I think they do it in 720, but I'm not sure. Anyways,
yeah, it is 720, isn't it?
Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah, that's what I thought.
It's upscaled 1080.
It's really good looking 720, but yeah, it's 720. And the controls, at first I was like, oh, these aren't so bad, but by time where I'm at now, the controls are terrible. When you're doing a lot of shit, when you got a lot of shit you got to do in a combat, you're fighting a boss where you have to run up and do something and run back, the controls fail. Or just like jumping to a platform, jumping over a gap to a platform, I kept screwing it up. and falling off, and the controls were wonky, like, because I think what they're trying to do is make the movement of the character seem realistic, I guess. But in doing that, it's hard to adjust yourself sometimes.
Does it feel like Grand Theft Auto? Because Grand Theft Auto has that same problem, and I hate the movement in Grand Theft Auto.
I don't. Yeah, I guess that and like kind of like Assassin's Creed. But the thing with Assassin's Creed, if you run into a wall, you can just run up it. In this game, if you run into a wall, you stick to it. Or like, well, there's a part where I exploded in my broadcast where I got stuck to a bollard, and I was like, I couldn't jump over it, I couldn't get around it, and I got shot to death. And I was like, yeah, that just kind of lost my immersion, because that's when you run into a bollard. One, you either smash yourself in the nuts, or you roll around it, or you jump over it. Just
because Grand Theft Auto, it's like damn near impossible to turn on a dime. Like if you're walking, like even if you're walking and you start to walk this way and you're like, oh no, I want to go that way, your character has to do this wide circle.
It's like you're on ice skates.
Come back around. Yeah, and it's just like, no, just fucking stomp and then turn the other direction. Like I know that it doesn't make for the most realistic looking movement, but I'm not playing a video game so I can move realistically. I'm playing a video game so I can move the way that I want to flip and move.
I don't know if it's as bad as Grand Theft Auto or not. I haven't played Grand Theft Auto in a long time, so I don't remember. But it was a problem for me. So, and I can only speak.
And I don't want anybody to get me wrong. I love Grand Theft Auto 5, but the movement in Rockstar games, because it's so rooted in realism, can feel really clunky sometimes.
Yeah, and the other thing is I was playing with my Xbox One controller when I started, but then when I was streaming from my computer, I was using my 360 controller, so maybe that had something to do with it. I don't know, but that's my biggest thing I've complained about was the controls. So they're a little bit lower on my ratings, but
all right. So just in a short summary, obviously there's some issues with some graphical issues. The controls seem to be a main problem.
Summarizing now, I'm gonna go into summary now. Those were just the two things I wanted to focus on. Summary, overall game, I would give it about an 8.5 out of 10 overall from what I've played so far. The big thing for me is the story, though. It is a huge story game. If you don't like watching more of your game than playing your game, I probably wouldn't recommend it. There is a lot of watching, and the episodes that they give you they have important information in them, so it's kind of critical to watch them. So, yeah.
And it sounds like they kind of got around a problem that I was kind of concerned with Quantum Break, because if you think about it just as like the game, it's like, okay, you have a game, you play, and then there's going to be, several 30-minute, just cutscenes, basically, just live action cutscenes. And you think about that and you're like, man, that is going to have no fucking replay value. Like once you get through that game once, you're not going to want to sit through the same 30-minute cutscenes again. But it sounds like there's actually choices that you make throughout it that
changes the cutscene.
Different things. So a second run through might actually be worth it if you deliberately do things you didn't do the first time.
Yeah, and you can always skip
which is
the
interesting.
If you made the same decision. But it's good for me because, and I'd probably give it a higher rating than say maybe you Dan would give it, because it's perfect for me because I can play it with my wife and we can talk while we're playing it, and we're probably going to be watching something on TV anyways, but this way I get to sneak in some video games while I'm at it, and so it works for me.
I said, I'm a sucker for Remedy, so I'll probably have some sort of unintentional bias towards it anyways in my brain, just because pretty much any Remedy game I pretty much like a lot. Like even though they can be flawed, like Max Payne has its issues, Alan Wake has its issues, but I still played those games multiple times and enjoyed the hell out of them. So
it is very intense. And the way they do the time freeze, like everything just frozen in the air, and you can push it around in the air and stuff. I remember I was so fascinated by the just stupidest thing. It was like a coffee cup that was spilled in the air, and I remember just sitting there playing with it for like 30 or 40 seconds, just moving around in the air, fascinated by how they did it. And I don't know the kind of work that goes into doing the code and all that to make that happen, but I was just so impressed visually by how they did all that It kind of really struck a chord
I've
with me, I guess.
deliberately kept myself pretty out of the loop on this game. I've never looked up anything other than a review, like because I didn't want anything accidentally spoiled for me. But there was one of those things that you're talking about with like the time that's really cool that one of the guys in the video review that I was watching said was there's just a lot of things that'll happen with time that you'll see that just look really cool and like are totally mind-blowing. And there's one part where I'm not exactly sure what was going on, but the character was just standing in like essentially an alleyway, and it went through probably 60 days worth of time in about 15 to 30 seconds. And you watched like, I can't remember if it was deconstructing or being constructed, but like an entire tent full of supplies just like disappeared and moved off screen and got broken down in front of you, and the sun moved and all this stuff, and it happened like in a fraction of time.
Well, you can actually, you can actually do that with the push of a button. As you can like hold in the Y button, and it'll show that stuff being constructed, and then when you let go, it deconstructs.
Maybe that's what it was,
yeah,
but it
just,
looked really freaking cool.
Yeah.
And the other thing that he showed is there was a part where they were on a bridge at night, and I don't know what happened, but something exploded and cars were like flying, but this part of the game or the world or whatever was stuck in like a 10-second time loop. So what happened is the explosion would happen, everything would fly away, and then it would stutter for a second, and then it would come back, and then it would explode again and fly away, and it would stutter for a second and come back. And it was just really cool, the attention to detail, where you watch this one car fly, and it would hit one of the beams, and the beam would bend and fit perfectly with the car. Then it would shake for a second, and then return to its normal position.
Cool.
And stuff.
Yeah, and it does that a
looked
lot.
really cool. Like
Yeah.
the visuals seem really cool in that game.
Yeah, it does that a lot, and actually, they make a puzzle out of it because sometimes there'll be like a wall that was it was torn down, and you need to get over the gap, so you have to reverse time to when it was built, walk across the wall, and then it falls apart right behind you. So they make it into a puzzle element too, which I thought was kind of cool.
It seems really cool. Like I said, I've kind of had my eye on it, and the reviews seem pretty positive, except for on PC, which sucks because that's kind of where I was hoping to get it. But
That's why I did
Microsoft
the
and their
pre-order.
UWP, super great. And the worst part is their heart is in the right place. They just don't have.
They're just Microsoft. They screw up everything they do. They just that's just what they do.
The thing with
Unfortunately.
Microsoft
But we
is that
all
they
love
have
them
good ideas,
anyways.
but they might not exactly know how to implement it in the right way or even
Yeah, like-
market it correctly.
Like, the ability for Xbox One games to also be on PC is great for PC players, except they don't give the PC players the stuff that they play on PC for. Like, okay, they gave us mouse and keyboard, but SLI isn't enabled, VSync is forced, so there's no real uncapped frame rate. All these limitations in terms of like, you can't turn off anti-aliasing, you can't do all this stuff. Like, it's basically just a simulation of the console on your PC, and it's just like, you're missing the point.
You're streaming your console is what it's
Right.
doing.
You're missing the point of it. We want it on our PC so that we can have high frame rates and high fidelity, and we can tweak all of our stuff and turn off mouse acceleration and all that stuff. And they're just like, nah, it's fine, just play it. And it's like, you're missing the point. You're trying to get the point, but you're missing it.
If anything, this just seems like a smoother transition from console players to PC players, but it doesn't seem to be doing PC players any favors.
Yeah, well,
And according to Microsoft, they're working on it.
the other
so
thing is
we'll
They
that
have to start somewhere. I mean, I'm sure down the line they'll figure out a harmony.
Well, just the thing that blows my mind is pretty much everything that's running on the UWP runs worse for most people than it does on their console counterparts. Like, Gears of War Ultimate Edition on, like, Titans was having trouble hitting 50 to 60 frames. And that is unacceptable.
Yeah.
Unacceptable.
Well,
and it seems like they're having the same problem with Quantum Break, where like super high-end computers that blow the fucking doors off of what the Xbox One can provide are performing worse than it because it wasn't optimized for PC.
Well, the thing that bothered me is that in order to play a game on your Xbox, your Xbox has to be on. And I don't like that. Like, I want to be able to play the games on my Xbox while it's in sleep mode or whatever. Like, they're always just like if let's say I bought Quantum Break for my Xbox, then automatically when I turn on my Windows 10, I can download it there. and play it. Like I don't. It shouldn't be separate. Like like I shouldn't have to turn on my Xbox, waste that electricity downstairs, and then play it on upstairs on a smaller screen. Why not just play it downstairs? Because all you're doing is streaming your Xbox One, so it's actually giving you worse quality. I mean, it's fractions, but it's
because it
worse
still
quality.
has to run off the Xbox.
Well, yeah, because it's streaming through the Xbox. What's that freaking app called? Xbox.
Who cares?
Bullshit.
Xbox. Who cares?
Smart Glass. So
yeah, well, that's the thing. If you're trying to stream it from your Xboxes obviously have to be running. But there should be, and like you said, you were talking about it, the Windows version of Quantum Break would just need your Windows. You wouldn't need your Xbox on for that. So, general, you said 8 out of 10, 8.5 out of 10?
8.5. Yeah, for me. I'd probably give it an 8.5, just because overall it's an enjoyable experience, and it keeps me coming back, and I want to play it. Like I want to play it right now. So
let's play.
It's a good game. Yeah.
There we go.
But some people may not be able to tolerate things as well as I can. So
I'll check back on you next week then, because I'm curious to see as you.
I'll probably have like 2 more hours, and I don't get to play video games much.
Hey, whatever.
But yeah, I'll definitely keep you posted.
Yeah, because right now I'm pretty much torn because I only have enough money right now for one game, and I'm torn between Quantum Break or Dark Souls 3, and I'm currently leaning towards Dark Souls 3. So I'm you're gonna have to convince me otherwise with your lovely
I would say go with Dark Souls because I think that it's for you the better purchase. It's a hardcore gamer game. Quantum Break has its hard points, but it's more of a story.
Games though. I play a lot of
it's
variety.
But Quantum Break is a heavy story, and for you more of a casual gameplay. It's harder for me because I suck at video games. But
I like story and casual.
Dark Souls 3 I think will be more. What's the word I'm looking for? I guess just. You would probably get a better, more enjoyment out of that. If it's anything like Dark Souls 2.
I don't know, man. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. I'm still trying to find an actual PC review itself because I know that From Software has kind of had a history of their ports not being great. From what I understand, they were trying to do a lot better job with Dark Souls 3, but I still can't find a review that's just solely from PC, like solely reviewing the PC itself. So hopefully, I actually haven't checked in a couple days, so who knows if new ones will come out. But yeah, before I buy it, I want to find an actual PC review and make sure that it's running good on the PC, because that seems to be the problem. Like the Quantum Break news has only come out in the past day or two that it's not running well on PC, although the game's been reviewed for like 5 or 6 days. So. You know, I almost bought that game for PC, and I would have been shafted because I wasn't actually getting a PC review.
Yeah.
So, according to some, I don't really know how well it runs on PC, but I'm hearing a lot of complaints. But could be the vocal minority. Who freaking knows? Jared, I hear that you have a thing that you wanted us to do, seeing as it's already 5:20.
Yeah, I text my wife, said probably be running a little late. I'll, it's better for me to say that it's my fault that we ran late than to say, well, the podcast just ran late. So,
she hates me enough as it is. You don't need to give her more.
No, I don't want to put this. I don't like saying, I don't want to put it on you guys. I want to put it on me. And
well, we would have been done with the podcast, but GP kept talking about stupid shit like he always does.
No, it's fine. She doesn't care as much as I probably make it out that she does. Anyways,
she just kind of sighs for a second, but Jared just hears, "You dick!" Like,
yeah, she's like, "Oh, that's okay. I don't mind. I was just doing the dishes." And then I'm like, "Oh, I'm so sorry. Gosh, why do you gotta bring my mom into it? Oh gosh, you're so mean."
Did you really have to talk about the divorce papers? And she just didn't even say anything about that.
And then she's like, "See, this is why I want you to get off at 6, because you get like this." No, but no, she's cool.
She's cool. She's fine.
It's just if she knows, then she won't be sitting there like not eating, waiting for me. Because she's got this weird thing where she like waits to eat, waits for me to eat because she doesn't want to be like.
I just had this really pathetic view of your wife just standing outside your door, just doing nothing, just like staring at the knob, waiting for you.
There's like a tear running down her cheek. She's got like a fork in her food and she just can't eat it. She's just crying into her
She's
food.
just staring at it, watching like the steam
soggy.
slowly dissipate as it gets colder. And your Joe is just like, Mommy, can I go play? She's like, wait for your dad.
You can't eat yet. Stop eating.
He starts playing with his peas with a fork, and she's like, put it down. And he just goes, okay.
Oh no, Jared, you're terrible.
What a monster.
I'm so glad my wife doesn't listen to these.
Me too.
No, it's fine. But we should aim for 6. But if it takes longer, don't be concerned. That's all I'm saying. So, anyways,
7 o'clock. Here we go.
All right, 7 o'clock. Here we go. So I had an idea. I actually I got to give credit where credit's due. My wife and I watch a show. It's called Impractical Jokers. A hilarious show, recommend it. And they do this bit, and Andrew and I were in a conversation. She was like, "Hey, you guys should do it on a podcast." So it was kind of her idea, but we ripped it off of a TV show. But anyways, and what it is basically we're going to on the spot put 2 people in a debate, if you will, and they're going to have to convince the person who gave them each their thing to debate why their thing that they're debating is better. It could be why they're the better or the worse son, or it could be something like this. What superpower is better, or whatever. It could be anything. So, and the idea is to just make yourself as believable as possible, whether it's true or not. It doesn't matter. It can be made up. But if you could convince somebody,
getting into something behind you.
Yeah.
He pulled something off the.
There's everything in here is dog safe for him to chew on. So, and
he jumped up and ripped it off the top of that dresser. It was just
no, my dildo collection.
No.
Crap. But if you can make it believable as if it actually happened to you, I would think that would be more convincing. That was the last thing I wanted to say.
I'm totally gonna clip that. Just Jared, oh no, my dildo collection, and that's just all it's gonna be. Just like a 2-second thing.
It's gonna be like a song. Oh no, my dildo collection. Oh no. Oh no, my dildo collection. Oh no, my dildo collection.
Auto tune. Oh no, my dildo collection.
So that's it. That's the gist of it. I mean, it'll be pretty. So, who do we want? I don't know if we want to like. Well,
you're the boss of the applesauce.
So
Jared,
you guys are going to debate and convince me. Is that how we're going to start it?
Sure. And just forewarning everybody, in case it wasn't clear, obviously this is improv. We have no idea what any of each other have just picked.
No.
So it might be to the point where Jared's just like, all right, I'm going to pose my question. And then the video just cuts and it's just to somebody else because what we said was boring and nonsensical.
Yeah.
So it's all based on our ability to improv. And I don't think that I'm that great.
Fair at all. I mean, it could be completely one-sided. For example, on the show, they used Jesus versus Batman. That's kind of a hard argument, but they did it. So
what I'm afraid of is I'm waiting for the one person to like make the Christian do pro-life and then or pro-choice, and then the atheist do pro-life. It's just terrible. I'm waiting because it's gonna happen. Somebody's gonna say it, and it's gonna get real dark.
That's a little controversial.
It's gonna get real dark.
Has a good sense of humor about it.
Jared's gonna have to choose pro-choice, and I'm gonna have to do pro-life, and it's just gonna be bad for everybody involved.
Yeah, well, I would suck it up and I would man up, but
Trump versus Donald, Hillary versus Trump.
I would just give all the arguments that I've heard.
Did you just say Trump versus Donald?
Yeah, I did. I
that. Ronald versus Donald.
It's Trump versus Donald Duck is what it was. Well, that's
Colonel Sanders versus Barry Sanders. But all right, so.
Colonel Sanders versus a kernel of popcorn.
Go.
Because those are both pronounced the same way. But spelled very differently.
This one is normally I won't give this warning, but since it's our first one, I'll give you somewhat a heads up, and that is that this one is going to be kind of one-sided. But I think
a one-sided argument.
Well, you'll see. But I'm ready whenever you guys are.
Yeah, I'm still trying to think of one for when it gets to me. So
okay,
go.
so all right, so Dan, I need you to convince me why laughter is the best medicine. Steph, I need you to convince me why medicine is the best medicine.
Why medicine is the best laughter.
All right.
Who do we start with somebody? How do we?
The person I give the first thing to goes first. I guess.
So Steph.
All right.
I told you first, and then it would be Steph. So.
Okay, so are we gonna start the debate?
Yeah. Just.
Or is that okay? Here we go. All right.
You gotta convince me. So
all right,
you know me.
Jared,
you know what appeals to me. Mm-hmm.
Laughter does not prevent polio. End discussion.
I've actually read a lot about both of these, so
I would actually counter that polio is hilarious.
All right. Well, medicine is a serious matter, and serious matter give cures. You can laugh all you want, but you'll be laughing towards your grave.
There's a time and a place for everything, including being serious. But let me ask you this. What is better? Somebody sitting in a hospital bed going, I have cancer, I'm gonna die. Or somebody in the hospital's bed saying, ha ha, that was hilarious, I feel way better and don't want to die.
Medical marijuana can make people feel better.
Medical marijuana makes people laugh at everything. Literally everything. Everything's funny on medical marijuana. Including the medical marijuana. There's a guy sitting there, he's like, I can't believe that my doctor gave me this shit. Knee slap.
Medicine has various painkillers and can make you feel so much better than laughter alone.
Have you ever broken a leg and laughed?
While high on Vicodin.
Did you feel better?
While high on Vicodin, I'm sure I did.
But here's the thing. The Vicodin medicine makes you laugh. So which one's really making you feel better? The medicine or the laughter that the medicine
Probably
causes?
the painkiller, because if somebody told me a funny joke and I started laughing while having like 3 of my bones shattered, I'm sure that won't really last that long.
You rip your diaphragm and you're just laughing and it just keeps
There's still
ripping.
pain. You can laugh, but there's still pain. But with the painkiller, you get the addition of laughter. But most importantly, the medicine will be helping you removing that pain.
My final point. There was a dude at one point. Don't remember when. Don't remember his name. Don't even remember what he watched. But there was a dude who had cancer or some sort of illness that he was going to die from. And he marathoned through this entire series of whatever it was, this really funny thing. And he laughed for days and days and days and days and days. He survived. No medicine.
Some people can be... All right, fair enough. This is a tough one. Jared, this is very one-sided. I can't... Should I admit defeat?
Yeah.
Should I
Well, we gotta convince him, Jared. How are you feeling so far?
Yeah. Do I need to give you a couple pills your way to help you with your decision?
Statement. Do you have a rebuttal?
Let's put it this way, Jared. I got 2 things in my hands.
One's a
One
red
of
pill.
them
One's a blue pill.
is a red pill. But all that it really is just gelatin. But it's the gelatin laced with the happiness of all the children and laughter. The other's a blue pill. It's for your dick. Which one you choose?
I choose the dick.
Well,
pill. Give me the dick pill. I want dick pill. No, I'm just kidding.
That is true.
I guess you went with that.
That is true. Laughter doesn't really help you in that department, doesn't it?
Okay, so based on argument alone...
Seems like you hurt yourself on that one, Dan.
Like,
it was funny though, right? That's the whole point.
You had it in the bag, Dan, and you just throw it away.
Oh man, that's tough because
I had kittens in the bag and they wanted out, so I figured laughter was the same way. The wind or whatever.
So, anything else you want to add to that, Steph?
Everybody take all the pills you need, because I'm sure it does better than laughter.
Yeah. So this one was a tough one because I mean it was pretty one-sided. I mean, it's obvious that medicine is the best medicine.
Yeah, it's obviously medicine.
I was hoping you would give some arguments like you would say that. I mean, because remember, you can make up complete bullshit. You could be like, well, actually, when you laugh, a chemical is released in your body, and it's said to fight any disease. Stuff like that.
The chemical of laughter, laughteratonin, is released.
True story. My grandma had a great sense of humor. Lived 20 years longer than my grandpa, who was a dick. Stuff like that, But
I thought you were being serious. I was actually.
Well, that's why you say true story. See, you got to try and make them believe it.
But now I don't know if you're lying to me.
No, actually, no. My
create distrust among friends.
No
better than medicine
at all would have helped my grandma because she just fell over an oxygen tank and tripped and hurt herself.
Who gets the point?
So, well, I felt like you were more committed. And had the really got into it, but I mean, she didn't really have to put up much of an argument to convince me what I already know. So that was kind of shady on my part, but that's kind of how it goes sometimes,
Who gets the point?
That would be Steph.
Damn it! All right, Steph is at 1 point.
I'm at 1 point.
Steph,
excellent.
You had an argument. I'm still trying to think of my arguments.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so Jared, you play video
Dan
games.
And I are debating?
Yeah.
Okay.
So you play video games, correct? You can.
I think so. Yeah.
I do.
You can argue that you have played the Assassin's Creed series. You have enjoyed it immensely.
I could argue that.
Okay, very near and dear to your heart.
So can I just guess?
No, do not guess.
What's gonna happen here?
Do not guess.
All right. Well, here's what I'm gonna do.
Dan.
Here's no. Shut up.
Right now.
Shut up.
Right,
shut up.
Listen.
Shut up. Here's what I'm gonna do.
Whoa.
I'm writing my answer into the chat.
Okay.
And I'm going to not send it, but I'm going to put who's arguing versus who, and we're just going to see if it's right. As soon as you say it, I'm just going to press enter. I'm not going to change.
You probably already know. You're an intelligent being
on them
sometimes. So
let's do it.
Wrong.
Let's find out.
Dan, Halo is a game that is also very near and dear to your heart.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, it's right next to my aorta.
Right there, right? Jared, convince me why Halo is the superior game.
Oh, shit.
Dan, convince me why Assassin's Creed, all of them.
Look at the chat box.
Franchise.
Look at the chat box.
Which is
Look
the better franchise?
Look at the chat box. I knew it as soon as
she said Halo. I was like, oh shit.
As soon as she said Assassin's Creed, I knew where this was going.
Convince me.
All right. Well, what? How about?
Can I deliberately sabotage just so Halo wins?
No.
Millions upon millions of fans who rave over this game. Revolutionary, changed the way we play first-person shooters. Versus a game that was, it was great, but it didn't really revolutionize anything. It just kind of copied off Prince of Persia. So, I mean, come on.
Counterpoint. Which game series comes out every year and gets bought every year?
Call of Duty?
Not Halo. Halo is so inconfident of itself. It's so inconfident of itself, it can't even give itself an annual release. It's like, no, people will only put up with me once every 3 to 4 years.
Your facial expressions give you away so badly. You can tell you're just bullshitting.
I'll poker face
over your head. No, yeah. Well, I mean, there's an argument to be said over quality versus quantity. And. I ask you, what do you prefer, quality or quantity?
Let's put it this way: you get to have sex once every 4 years, but it's a 10, or you get to have sex once every year, but it's like a modest 8.
Or you can have sex with one big dick, or you can have sex with 10 tiny dicks.
You clearly have never had sex with 10 tiny dicks. That shit's great. In Halo, can you climb trees?
No. Oh, well, actually, that's actually a good point. I kind of agree with him. No.
That's why I play Assassin's Creed.
But
climb them fucking
Assassin's
trees.
Creed, can you shoot guns? Do you fight aliens? Do you talk to an AI that you get emotionally involved in? How do you get emotionally involved in a game that changes every year? when you can follow a continuing story and cast and get invested in the characters.
Counterpoint. If Assassin's Creed has one bad story, it's just for that 1 year. Halo's bad stories for all of them.
Oh.
I hurt doing this. This is physically painful.
Defend your love, Jared.
I love it.
All right, so okay, there's the story element, whatever, but multiplayer, come on. Assassin's Creed multiplayer has failed time and time again. Halo is the ultimate first-person shooter multiplayer experience. Come on. I mean,
Counterpoint. Halo needs both a campaign and a multiplayer to sell. Assassin's Creed just needs the one.
But you don't buy Assassin's Creed for the multiplayer.
Because Assassin's Creed don't have multiplayer no more.
Exactly. Because they failed at it.
Because they didn't need it.
So would you rather have the universal experience of multiplayer and single player, or just single player with a failed multiplayer?
Why spend all the time developing the multiplayer if you don't need it to make the sales? This is what you need, Jared. Basic company principle politics, whatever. The least amount of work for the most amount of gains. Halo thinks it has to be so revolutionary every time, adding all these new features and game modes. Fuck that. Change the guy's name. New location. Money.
All right, so towards the end there, it seems like
hurts.
you've been showing your true colors a little bit, Dan.
Yeah.
But I appreciate
I'm just
the
being
effort.
businessman, man. That's all
You know,
this.
it's fair enough, but I'd have to give Jared the point.
My arguments were way better than Jared.
He
You
has
guys suck.
convinced me.
You should have had us both argue why like Gears of War like sucks or something. No, I don't know.
I was tempted to do Gears of War versus Assassin's Creed, but I feel like
man.
Halo is closer to Dan's heart than
Yeah.
Gears. So, thank you for...
You should have did like Zelda and Halo, because Zelda's my overall number one game of all. Like, franchise
okay.
of all
I
time.
was actually-
I would have
say,
like cried.
But Dan has played Zelda and he enjoys Zelda, so it's
okay.
like
Yeah.
I
was
wanted to
actually,
pick something that
I was actually pretty concerned that pretty sure that I was going to win that one. I thought a good argument.
you did a good argument. No, your
not.
arguments
That's not.
were great, but in terms
you
of
lost, but
convincing
didn't you
me,
kind of win at
yeah,
the same time?
I think both of you get points. How about
Yeah,
that?
but
We all
guess
get
what?
points.
I don't have any points yet, so I still lost.
Oh, okay. You
So
have
we
one
have-
more debate.
we
No,
have
actually, it was
D,
just Jared and me, isn't it? Jared and I, sorry.
Oh, we gotta
1,
convince Dan.
0.
Yeah.
So I'm actually going to add these up, so it's 0, 1, 1 currently.
Okay.
It's actually kind of funny because Jared actually kind of called out what I was leaning forward to. So there are games coming out soon that people are pretty excited for. One of them might be the new Zelda game on the Wii U /NX, whatever it ends up being on. And there's also this other little game called Gears of War 4.
I'm typing in
That's
something.
coming.
I'm gonna hit
Okay,
enter
I
when
see
I'm
where
done.
this is going.
That's coming
Yeah.
out on good old X1. Steph, why is Wii U Zelda gonna be better than Gears of War 4? Jared, why is Gears of War 4 gonna be better than Wii U Zelda?
Oh, this is what I thought it was gonna be.
I know so much about the Zelda coming out. So much.
So much!
I am a fountain of information. Oh my god. Okay, so.
Oh, this is. I actually started reading a little bit of this about this in the Game Informer. I didn't read a lot. I really wish I would have read more.
Make it up!
All right, so go ahead. Well, I'll start.
We're gonna
Okay,
start
go
with
ahead.
Jared.
Because Gears of War, I mean, this is a no-brainer. I mean, fuck Zelda. Oh, it hurts. Excuse me.
Fuck Zelda. What type of
Zelda
name is
sucks.
Zelda for a boy, anyways?
Yes. All right. So yeah. Well, first of all, you gotta buy a Wii U to play Zelda. Fuck that. Okay. So Gears of War. I mean, come on. This has been claimed by several people as one of the greatest franchises to grace the earth. One of the best co-op video games out there that you can play. And the story, I mean, you can't beat aliens trying to destroy the planet. I mean, come on. I mean, what's Zelda? A guy who has to continuously save the same princess over and over again. It sounds kind of like Mario. And all he has is a sword. I mean, come on, you get chainsaw guns in here, and you can fucking chainsaw people's heads off.
Okay, so I'm going to look at how many copies of Legend of Zelda sold. Let me tell you something.
Hey, I didn't say use the internet.
Zelda has been near and dear to everyone's hearts. Nintendo is the grandfather of all games. Nintendo and Zelda appeals to a larger audience. You know, it's kind of like Disney. You know, you don't fight Disney. Disney is everybody's childhood. Even if you weren't a child, it's your child. Even if you weren't a child, you were old when Disney came out, it was still part of your childhood. So Zelda is kind of like the same way. You know, Gears of War, it's got all the gore, all the fancy schmancy stuff, but really, is that something that you want to give to your children, Jared? Is that something that you want to share with the family? No, you give Zelda, you get a Wii U because you care about your family. You put your child first, you put your wife first. And you go ahead and buy that Wii U, and you share memories with your son. Okay.
Oh, so I'm gonna play Zelda with my family, but it's a one-player.
But you can share are you going to play Zelda in front of your kid? Or are you going to let your kid play it? And you're gonna revel in those memories of just watching your kid fighting.
My kid's gonna play because I'm gonna be busy playing Gears of War 4. And destroying things with chainsaws.
So you'll be neglecting your child. You see, that Nintendo creates bonds with family. Gears of War destroys them. Gears of War promotes violence. Gears of War is a farce to our society. You don't want to inject our children with such need of bloodlust and swears. You want something family friendly. Choose Nintendo. Choose life.
Choose life. Yeah, I mean,
Final arguments. One more point from Jared, one more point from Steph.
So, Gears of War. I mean, have you seen the reviews on this thing? The previews, I should say. I mean, the phenomenal cast of voice actors. The storyline seems just on par. You've already got an ongoing storyline. This is much a bit in the future. So there's going to be some ties back to what you've already played. So you've got this huge immersion going on of a grand story. Whereas Zelda, it's just it's a different game where you do the same thing. You go through dungeons, solve puzzles, and eventually you fight Ganon. And because he's got a part of the Triforce, the same part of the Triforce he always has in every one that for some reason he keeps getting. And maybe you'll ride a horse every once in a while. Whoopity-doo.
Well, the thing with Gears is that its story ended in Gears of War 3. Gears of War Judgment was a flop, and Gears of War 4 is questionable in terms of its story. You know, what should we continue after the Locusts are dead? Should we really, try to rehash everything and label it as new? With Zelda... things are different. Wind Waker is different than Ocarina of Time. Even though they might share the same basic story, they change some things, make it different, spice it up. Same basic characters, but not really. They play the same roles, but in a way they're kind of different. So, I don't know. Gears of War, the future is a little bit weird, a little bit unknown, and we don't know whether this new story will be good or bad. In fact, it might be looking towards the negative. How can you work after, the enemy's destroyed? Whereas Zelda, the hero's journey, a very classic story. And I think it's something that is timeless.
This was a little hard because Steph came out swinging. Like, Jared started off a little stumbly, and Steph kind of, came out swinging, but... I like Jared's attitude towards the latter half.
Neither one of us had our heart in it.
Just this attitude towards everything. Gears was awesome, so I have to give it to Jared. Man. I had to give it to Jared. I have just thought of another one.
I feel like these are all gonna be making people go contradicting with their
No. What they want to do. This one actually isn't. Unless you guys have some other ones that you want to do before we circle back to me. You guys have some?
No, I don't.
No, I'm good.
No, I mean,
Yeah?
I had some that I was thinking of last night, but I'm drawing a blank now. Damn it.
Well, let's all do one more.
Okay, so here we go. Superpowers. Let's just do it.
Fuck.
All right. Steph,
yes.
Convince me why having the ability to stick to anything is the best superpower. Dan.
Damn it, I want that one. Okay.
Having the ability to contort yourself in any way is the better ability. Almost like Jell-O.
Okay.
So basically shape-shifting? Is that what you're saying?
Well, like Mr. Fantastic.
Yeah, I was thinking Fantastic.
Okay.
Yeah.
Rubberman.
All right, so have you ever... Oh, we're going to go ahead first.
Bigger dick.
Thinner. You are going to have the same mass. It's just going to be stretched.
Bigger dick.
Thinner, though. I'm sure girls would prefer girth over...
No, I'll just push... I'll push all of, like, the thigh into it to make it thick.
Oh, I want to say something so bad.
All right.
I was having that same problem. It's so hard to sit and listen to them argue because you want to start interjecting things.
All right, well, here's the thing. Mine's more practical, all right? Have you ever lost your keys? Have you ever lost your wallet? No worries. Just stick that right on you. You don't lose anything ever. You got, a phone number, put a little sticky note, keep it there. Sticky notes. You know how the stick loses its stick. It gets annoying, right? Look at that. It just fell off. But you can become your own personal sticky note. You can reuse old pieces
basically
of paper.
turned into the sham wow guy for like 3.5 seconds. Look at it, just fucking falls off. It's pointless. Whatever. You get a sham wow, you take it out, you put it on there, sucks it all up.
And if you call now, we'll give you double the stickiness. A $19.99 value, absolutely free. Call right now at this number.
Just have to pay some processing and handling.
Yeah.
So, all right. So, sticky power is pretty sweet.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Who wants to stick to shit? What are you, a spider? Look at that. Like, look at this. Oh, ready? I'm gonna be Steph. Look at that. Stuck to my hand. How fucking pointless is that? I could make myself into a dragon. I could be like a motherfucking balloon animal, changing my shapes into fantastic abilities. Your wife was just like, you know what? I always wanted to have sex with a 10-foot man. Bam! 11 feet. See if you can handle that, wife.
Honestly, that seems to be great if you're a clown, a party clown. However, if you want to be a real superhero, Spider-Man, come on, sticking on the walls, creeping on bad guys, jumping like a drop bear. You get on your enemies, surprise them, just stick away. They can't climb walls if you get an attack. I'm telling you. Versatile,
if you can transform
your
little Spidey man and be climbing on the wall, I just go grab him with my extendo arm, pull him down as hard as I can, smash his little Spidey ass on the ground. He'll be stuck to the floor because he's gonna be part of the floor. With how hard I just fucking pull him down to the ground. You think you're at a ball game? You're at a ball game with your little baby Joe. Maybe your name's Jared. You have a little baby named Joe. Sitting there at the ball game. Little baby Joe's like, Daddy, I want one of the baseballs. Shake! Grab it out of the air. Fly ball. Here you go, Joe. Have that. Smack him upside his head for being a disobedient piece of shit.
All right, let's see how far you stretch. Say you go ahead and fight me, punch me, whatever. Your hand is stuck to me. I run over to the nearest subway station. I go into a car. Your hand is stuck with me, and you're going to be stretching all the way across town. I want to see how far you stretch, sir, before you snap like a Laffy Taffy pull too far.
I'm just waiting for you to get into bed with somebody, stick it in, and then you're stuck there permanently. Good luck getting that girl off your dick, stuck there forever.
Hey, some people find that hot. You don't...
It's like teenage kids getting the braces locked in except for with your gina.
Well, listen, I ain't one for king shaming, but maybe some people might like that.
What happens when you fucking blink? They get stuck closed?
All right.
It's an excuse for falling asleep at work. Get some shut-eye. Sorry, sir. I got a superpower. I gotta, you can't discriminate against me. You can't fire me because this is a disability. Okay? I have to keep my eyes closed and sleep because my eyes just get shut.
Final point. You got that friend? You know that little joke you do where you go up behind somebody and tap them on the one shoulder, but you're on the other side? across the fucking room.
You can grab any. Say, for
Girls,
example,
your friend's talking to some girl. You tap on his shoulder. He turns around. She's like, "What are you looking at?" Now he looks like a fucking fool.
well, that is mean-spirited, and I'm not mean-spirited to my friends. In fact, I stick to my friends forever, literally, side by side. Imagine that, a permanent buddy, always to hang out all the time. It's lovely.
Final counterpoint to that. You only stick to them because you have to, not because you want to from your soul.
You don't know about that. You don't know how me and my relationship is going. Maybe we have something going on. Maybe we are soul
You
bonds.
can't prove it
Maybe...
because you're a piece of plastic man, a piece of elastic adhesive guy.
I've made my decision, but I have to say that I'm very impressed by Steph's passion that she exerts in these.
She had some good points.
She had me when she said that. Oh yeah, well when you touch me, you stick to me, and I take you across town or whatever. and then, but then the counterpoint just nailed it. So yeah, I'm gonna have to go with Dan. Sorry.
It's okay.
I was actually convinced you were gonna give it to Steph. I'm like, man, am I not gonna get a single point?
No. No. Well, the one thing I wanted to say is, like, you're like, oh, you can have the biggest dick as you want, but I'm like, but you're pretty much rubber, so you would always be flaccid. That would have been my counterpoint, but...
Look at porn stars. They got flaccid penises that are huge.
But, man, that was fun to watch, though. Thanks for that. It was entertaining.
You're
Visual
welcome.
aids. All right, Steph, do yours so I can do mine, and then we'll get out of here.
Geez. Okay, so I actually do not have one lined up, so you're gonna have to give me a second.
What a slacker.
Defend
which is being better, a slacker or a perfectionist.
Actually, that's...
It doesn't have to be good. It's our job to make it funny,
right.
not yours, so...
It's just
Dan-
like indigo versus magenta.
Magenta, go.
Go.
Alright, Dan, tell me why cold showers are the best. Jared, tell me why hot showers are the best.
Oh, well, that's easy, because the heat kills the germs. If you can take a cold shower, you're just pretty much, not cleaning anything.
Excuse me,
I mean,
Jared.
come on.
Excuse me, Jared, but can I just ask you something? Do you even fucking care about the environment? Okay? Do you have any idea how much coal it takes to heat up that water? How much propane gas it takes to get your little heater to do its little thing to keep that hot water? No. Cold water comes straight up from the earth. Cold. Perfect. Saves dolphins and sea animals.
Yes, but I can take a hot shower every 3 days and be just as clean as you taking a cold shower every day, so I can save water.
That's what soap's for.
Yes, but, soap kills some germs, yes, but the heat is the perfect combination. Kills all the germs. I know this for a fact. Look it up.
Actually, I would like to counter that point because the temperature that it takes to kill germs is actually 135 degrees plus, and I doubt that you're doing that on your skin because you'd look like a fucking blister if you did, okay? So, if anything, you're just giving them a nice little bubble bath, okay?
Why do you think I look like this? No. So, here's a question. You want to take a shower with your wife, maybe get a little intimate or whatever. How are you going to do that in a cold shower? You're going to be just a little shriveled mess there. But hot shower, that's where it's at, nice and
Counterpoint.
warm. Get the
Think
heat
about
on.
how hard her tits will be.
Yeah, that doesn't do much for you if you're just, a shriveled mess.
I got a point. Let's say you're like this big, okay? You're really small. You're a little baby. Maybe not baby, toddler age, like young age. And you walk in on mommy and daddy, doing their little sexy thing. What type of shower do you take after that to feel better? Definitely not a hot one. You take a cold one. You take a cold
I take a hot shower to burn the memories away. Super hot shower.
I put it through my ear and let it burn it out.
That way I'm thinking about the pain of burning. My skin literally burning off and not my parents having sex.
It's wintertime. You're in your house, assuming you don't have great heating in your bathroom, like maybe I don't. Get into the shower with a hot shower. Come on out. You're gonna freeze, man. You're gonna be going from feeling so nice in that hot shower to freezing your little dick off as soon as you step out. Cold shower actually feels better because the air is hotter. You actually feel like you're getting into hotter air.
Your complaint is being cold when you get out of the shower. So why would you go into the shower cold?
Your complaint is that you want it to be hot in the shower, but you would get out of the shower cold, not hot.
I just wrap myself in a towel or stay in the bathroom, door shut, and, let, me gradually cool off. I don't have to worry about that
Final point.
issue. Well,
maybe one day you wanted to be Buffalo Bill, You're feeling like you want to be Buffalo Bill, and you're sitting there, and you're going like this, and you're trying to, like, tuck your penis in between your legs or whatever and do that thing that he does, but you can't do it because your pee-pee's too big. Jump in the cold shower for a little while, that thing will go like this. You just fucking tuck it in like a little thumb into the little hole. I'd fuck me.
Okay, I'm not sure what happened there, but I love it.
I was Buffalo Bill! Silence of the Lambs, motherfucker! Do you speak it?
Oh my god!
Fact. Okay, so the hot water opens your pores in your body, which means that more dirt is being removed from your body. It's better for your skin, and there's less dirt clogging up your pores, gets you cleaner, and it makes you feel better, and it's better for your skin. Cold water does not do that. It is not as effective. And plus, what if it's the wintertime and you go take a cold shower and then you get dressed and then you got to go back out into the cold? I mean, come on.
I'd like to counter that point with the fact that opening up your pores makes gateways for the demons to get in.
Only if you believe in that sort of thing.
They exist. I don't need proof.
Okay, I love both of your arguments. Jared's grounded in some accurate science, whereas Dan's is just, I don't even... I don't know. I could go for
tell
scientific...
he was thinking about taking a cold shower and he was struggling.
Yeah, but I really love how he just pulled the Buffalo Bill kind of thing going on there, and the hard tits, I guess, if that's... Your arguments are very different, I'd have to say. I'm going to go ahead and go with Dan because he just pulled...
If I did that Buffalo Bill impression and didn't get a point, I was going to be really disappointed.
Hey, you can say it's because of the Buffalo Bill impression. That's perfectly legit. He did what he needed to do to win.
He went.
Little bastard.
I went all out.
He went.
I don't see you saying you'll fuck yourself.
He went like popular culture reference. He went environment friendly. He went through the sexual nature or sexual.
Ended up on religion, which is always a great topic.
He covered all the bases.
I hit the whole gambit.
He was probably absolutely outlandish, but he covered all topics, I guess. Jared, I appreciate
you have to take a cold shower now from now on. Thanks to Dan.
This
Jared,
last
I really
one.
like the burning the memories one, though.
This last one is gonna get weird. Okay?
Well, hold on, real quick. I gotta let my dog's being an ass. Let me just open the door real quick.
Jared, you needed to explain to me why having sex with humans is the best.
Oh boy.
Oh
and
my
Steph,
god.
Nailed it.
You have to explain to me why having sex with aliens
Jesus Christ.
is the best.
I thought you were going to say robots.
No,
that's a win-win because robots, I mean...
yeah, clearly
robots
they
are
have
kind
endurance,
of like the perfection of... robots is like the
endurance
next
for days.
Evolutionary step up the chain.
Yeah, well, okay, so, first of all, having sex with humans is better because having sex with aliens is against nature. Why not just go fuck a monkey? I mean, come on.
Wow, Jared,
have sex with your own species.
Very racist of you. Would you like to be a racist? Because I'm not racist. I'm open-minded to any and all creatures.
I would be happy to address any aliens watching this. And I mean, like, aliens from outer space,
Your racism starts wars, okay? You do not... I mean, do you love wars? Do you like to see children die? Do you enjoy seeing the human race slaughtered? No. Don't make wars, make peace.
Well, it depends. Do I have to have sex with an alien during these wars, or do I get to have sex with a human? Because I think I'd take the wars.
Oh my goodness. Listen, Jared, we need to understand all species as a culture. And the best way to do that is through understanding and intimacy. And I think we need to explore those options.
You can't just ask them. You can't just say, "Hey, what's going on with your species?" You gotta.
Well, what if
you
it's
gotta
a species
pull down their
that's
pants,
only
start sucking their cock. I mean, if they even have a cock,
Jared,
it could be like,
how insensitive.
Maybe they have sex through like eyeballs. Maybe they just look at you and you're pregnant. You don't know how aliens work.
Exactly. That's why we have to understand them.
That was the most rational argument I've ever heard. Why don't you just ask them? Oh, keep going.
Maybe we communicate with them through touch, okay? How you cannot assume that they are like us and able to communicate through eyes or through speech. You know,
I hate not being able to chime in. I hate.
Do me a favor.
All right, go ahead,
I want you to watch E.T. and I want you to picture them having sex.
Okay,
and
I
tell
want
me
you to
that
play.
That's right.
All right. I want you to play Mass Effect and tell me you cannot look into the eyes of the Asari and say that you would not want to mend or to go through their mending process or whatever it's called.
Dude, I totally nailed that chick with the blue. That's blue. But you know what? I didn't enjoy it.
Why not?
I wanted to nail the human, but she was a bitch. So I nailed the girl that wasn't a bitch.
All right.
The whole time I was like, I wish this was a human.
Really?
So,
I mean,
yeah. It's fun to experiment on games, but I mean, when it comes down to brass tacks here, I mean, come on. You got this beautiful, well, I guess in your case, this handsome man who, you know, loves and adores you, Dan, for instance, your boyfriend, and then all of a sudden an alien comes down and he's standing next to him and he's like, "Let's do this. You're gonna tell me you're gonna choose this alien over Dan?"
Well, that's different. You're bringing my relationship into play. I call objection. This is unfair. Well, say, for example, Dan all of a sudden was turned into an alien. And all of a sudden, this guy came to me and says, "Listen, I'm human. I can give you so much more than what this slimy green thing could look like or could be."
He probably wouldn't be lying.
You know, but here's the thing. I love Dan. And regardless whether he's alien, human, fungi, I love my boyfriend from the depths of my soul. I mean,
if he's an alien, he's been lying to you and you've lost his trust, and I don't know, I think that's kind of unattractive.
I mean jeez, I don't know.
Maybe he is an alien, I don't know.
Maybe, yeah, I mean, what if aliens look like humans?
Mm-hmm.
But the internal is different.
I've been compromised to get me out of here.
Nano.
Beep boop boop bop bop. Alien.
Call Corflack. He knows.
I don't know. Final argument. If you were talking robots, but aliens, no, that's out. That's out of the question. They're just too different. I mean, I'd be looking at their big old eyes, and I would never be able to get an erection. I'd just be like, "Ugh, you look like something I threw up."
Oh God, how can you be so insensitive? They are living beings just like us. They have emotions, Jared, and maybe this alien that looks like barf loves you to the bottoms of their ant.
Yeah, my dog has emotions, and my dog loves me too. But I'm not about to bend it over and start ramming his ass with my. Well, you get the picture. I mean, come on.
I don't think I do. Can you please elaborate?
I mean, I'm not saying that I wouldn't have sex with an alien because they're different. I'm saying I would not have sex with an alien because they. I'm supposed to have sex with humans, just like I wouldn't have sex with my animal or something else, because it's just not right.
Wait,
they can have
so
sex
you're
with each
saying
other all they want.
aliens are not animals? Excuse me, they are just like us. They just might look a little different. Are you going to judge race based on appearance? They are just like us. They just might look a little different, but they are sentient beings. They're not like dogs. They are able to rationalize, make moral choices. They're humans, just in a different skin.
Maybe they can make moral choices. You don't know that.
Well, you could probably talk to them and figure that out.
Yeah,
and
after
once
talking
you do,
to them, I'm probably going to find out that they think they're better than me because they're smarter, and I probably won't be attracted to them anyways. Probably you think you're better than me, huh?
Humans can do that too. I mean, have you met a human who thinks that they're better than most? Have you
met your wife?
Oh.
All right.
Yeah, well.
I hate that, like, there's times where, like, you want to interject but you can't. Like,
what do you want to say?
when Jared had made a point, I was like, in my brain, my counterpoint would be like, have you ever seen the movie Species?
I actually haven't, so.
Aside from the fact that she kills all the people she has sex with, she's fucking hot. And the sex is amazing.
Yeah. Oh, that brings up an excellent point. Have you seen the movie Alien?
Yeah, I have. It's right
Would you
in my
like to be
favorite.
eaten alive? Go
It's
ahead and
right
have
next
sex
to
with one
all of my
those.
other favorite pornos.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
You think
Well, listen, not
spit's
every,
acid? Wait till you
not-
see their cum.
not every.
See, that's the thing. Is you're afraid because you think that their blood's acid, so you're afraid that all of their
Not the
acid,
spit,
but
yeah.
their cum actually tastes like strawberries.
Oh my god.
It's actually
But
has
here's the
healing
thing,
properties.
Jared. Would you have
It cures cancer.
Jared? Would you have intercourse with a serial murderer who likes having sex with their victims before chopping them up? But they're human.
Of course not.
But they're human, so you can't assume that when alien does things mean all aliens do the same thing.
Well, I
Not
don't assume all humans
aliens-
do the same thing either. I mean, that's one
Well,
human.
precisely, but you cannot condemn an entire species just because, that weird one down the street does something weird. Like,
Well,
impregnate you with their...
That's not why I'm condemning aliens, because
corpse
they
eating.
do autopsies. I'm condemning aliens because they're not of our species, and it's against nature.
It's against nature, really.
Mm-hmm.
It could be another step in the evolutionary process. Our
They-
genes could evolve.
They evolved on a different planet and is different than ours. It is against our nature.
It's the
on this
same
planet.
universe, though. We're made of the same carbon material as most things in this universe.
We're wrapping up.
I've seen the movie
Wrapping up.
Alien. All I can do is see
Aliens
the
are
movie
the
Alien
future.
now, and that's scary as shit. I want an
Okay,
alien
but, like,
bursting out of
This
my
was,
chest.
every serial killer
this was
movie.
a tough choice.
I don't want an alien bursting out of
because-
my chest.
This was a tough choice because it went back and forth on the arguments. And this is actually the hardest one so far, I think, in terms of a winner. But I'm gonna go with Steph only because she did
Your girlfriend?
more to defend herself. She really pushed the envelope. Jared was just riding the, we're humans. Humans do humans. It's against
Yeah.
nature thing, which is a good argument, but Steph reached more. She pushed more to really defend herself. So I'm gonna have to go with Steph on that, which means we are a fucking tied.
Yay!
2-2-2.
So there we
Well, it
go.
works out.
And Alex is at a huge disadvantage for being at the flippin' slot machine place. What are those called? Casinos.
Oh, it's not called therapy?
Therapy.
I really thought I had it with the alien argument. I mean, come on, that's scary.
No, it's a good.
No,
like I
no,
said,
the
it was
alien
a
one-
tough one. It
Yeah.
was the hardest one to choose out of both.
Yeah, pulling the
It's so
alien
fun.
reference was just like, ooh, how do I work with this? But then it's like other slasher films and things
There you go.
about humans doing terrible things to other humans.
I gotta
Other
talk to my
things
wife
and
about this
things.
now. See what she says.
Yeah. See what she.
Ask her, she's like, oh, actually, aliens are my preferred thing.
So Andrea, I'm
sweetie."
actually an alien. Go. What do you have to say?
She's like, oh my god, thank
No,
well, I knew all
Jared-
along. Shit.
yeah. Jared's just like, Andrea, I'm an actual alien. Go, and she said I already knew that.
Yeah. I also know you're gay. Shit.
Yeah. That was my next question. Damn. Ladies and gentlemen, what do you think? Think about this. Who won in your book? Were there ever points where you would have changed the scoring a little bit?
I'm going to
Let us
throw
know down
something out
below.
there. If you leave a comment below making your argument and it is more convincing, maybe we can sway the decision a little bit.
The other thing that I was going to say, if you have two debate ideas, this versus that, shout those out down below if we like them. Could end up in this video with the name shouted out. I know everybody wants that, right?
Yeah.
10 views, maybe.
way to fame.
It's pretty good, right?
Yep. I'm going to start posting them right now. Oh, do I count? I count, right?
Yeah, you
of
can.
course.
Dan,
Jared
you
from the
argue
comments
why Jared
says
is the better person. Steph, you argue why Jared's the better person. Go.
he's not the other Jared.
Oh.
Ladies and gentlemen,
I could use that one. Anyways, go ahead.
thank you guys so much for watching. We like you. That's pretty much it. I'm the GP. This is Jer.
What's up?
Steph.
He may like you, but I love you.
I'm gonna kill her. And we'll talk to you next time.
See ya.